Hello, Lieutenant Dan, and hello, Lieutenant Dan, Mrs. Lieutenant Dan. We're going to have an explosive show tonight, so stay tuned, and let's just blow it up and all waffle together.
Oh, baby, you already know. Bitches in them hoes. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. Like them bitches in them hoes. Bitches in them hoes. The pain we know for sure. Pain we know for sure. I don't need it anymore. Nickels and them dimes used to be the penny. No butter too heavy. Put your heart into it. Nickels and them dimes, they used to be the penny. No butter too heavy for both of us to carry. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. Like them bitches in them hoes.
It's a damn crime, not low down shame, to claim the fame and not scratch grime. I'm down for mine, not see the truth, not much left, support you. This drill time, not making fun up on the gun, lunchtime. Grip, grub, lock those lines, then overtime, and then voice dub.
Dropping money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. Like them bitches in them hoes. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. Bitches get rowdy, cause we got this shit. Taking their style with a little twist. Ain't ever been like this. Boys are dropping it. Money on the floor. Shit, it's getting heavy. Used to be the penny. No, you never get it.
Here comes our criminal now. What do you have to say for yourself?
Every time I think about it, it pisses me off. The way they say that JFK was shot by oil. When we saw Jackie O fall back on the drum, what did she go after? Back into the lane.
What? Did you see that shit? Don't tell me you didn't see that shit. God damn. You're just making a phone call. Send it to text. Maybe you're commenting on the video, right? But what? Yeah. They back-ended technology, put it in our faces. You're getting fucked.
Where's the hard candy, girl? The kind that you suck on. Show me down your aisle. How many licks does it take to get to the middle? How many licks does it take? How many licks does it take to get to the middle? How many licks does it take? Yummy cherry pie. Sweet child, you could be mine. Creamy cherry on top. Running down my face, don't you say. Running down my face. Running down my face, don't you say. Running down my face. Get your hard candy, hold it in your mouth. Suck on it real hard. Hear me scream and shout my heart. Hear me scream and shout. Hear me scream and shout my heart. Hear me scream and shout.
All right, we're going to play this one more song for you. Dropping money on the floor. That's right. All them bitches and them hoes coming right back at you live in 5. Freaks.
Dropping money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor. Like them bitches in them hoes. The pain we know for sure. I don't need it anymore. Nickels in them dimes used to be the penny. No butter too heavy. Put your heart into it. Nickels in them dimes. They used to be the penny. No butter too heavy for both of us to carry. Dropping money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor. Like them bitches in them hoes.
It's a damn crime, now go down shame, now claim the fame, and I scratch crime. I'm down for mine, not see the truth, not much left, support you. This drill time, not making fun up on the gun, much time. Grip, and grub, stop those lines, just overtime, and then voice dub.
Dropping money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor. Like them bitches in them hoes. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. Bitches get rowdy, cause we got this shit. Taking this town with a little twist. Ain't never been like this. Boys are dropping it. Money on the floor. Shit is getting heavy. Used to be the penny. No, you never get it.
No, you'll never get it. Can you hear the words to that song? Dropping money on the floor. That's right. No burden too heavy for both of us to carry. That's me. Those are my 3 songs. Tell You the Truth, Hard Candy Girl, and Dropping Money on the Floor. Well, right to the entertainment, out of the shoot tonight. I'm not even watching the comments, so everybody tuned in, don't worry about commenting. I just have a few things to say. I want to make sure that I'm very clear and have a good time together with you, really. But have a good time as always and be clear. First, I want to say thank you to Jim Terry. Jim Terry TV, thank you very much, brother. I really appreciate everything you've done for me and Outlaw Video TV and everybody here at Outlaw Video TV. That means all the bands here at Outlaw Video TV. Our music show that we're doing every Wednesday. We're doing a music show every Wednesday. It's kind of quietly titled Blow Your Brains Out with Rick E. Warden. That's the idea. It was slightly inspired by Jason Green. Jason Green has Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I just noticed you can't really see my shirt. I'm going to have to pull it up like this. So, Blow Your Brains Out with Rick E. Warden. That's our music show every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. My vision for a long time, for about a year now, has been to do this live StreamYard panel, but for music, to have interviews with bands and then also have bands come on during the interviews, maybe ask a couple of questions, but also promote their upcoming shows and their music. And that way we're all doing this together. And that's what I've always done. That's been my vision with this StreamYard live panel since the first day I saw it, which was Mark Volderberger, the gentleman that does Foraging Texas. He also has a podcast now called I Drink, Therefore I Am Drunk. I don't know what it is, but he drinks at local pubs and talks to people about foraging. I saw him about a year ago do a StreamYard that was live both on YouTube and Facebook. I could see it live on YouTube on my TV and people commenting, and I could see it live on my Facebook and people commenting. And it tripped me out, and I saw the vision right away of what to do with this technology and the algorithmic favoritism that YouTube was going to show towards StreamYard. So that's the key with StreamYard. Anybody paying attention, the key of keys is that YouTube has an invested interest to make the live StreamYard panels successful. They want you watching YouTube on your television in your living room. So thank you, Jim Terry TV. And also thank you, Salty. Salty, thank you so much for sending all your love over this way. Man, I totally dig you. Goddamn, I love you, Salty. And I just can't thank you enough for sending all your people over here to Outlaw Video TV as well. You guys, hope y'all kind of hash out what y'all got going on. I don't really know. I've been really busy, extremely busy. So I don't really know. What happened was that I finished my music show last Wednesday night. And after the music show, I watched it. I always watch the show and critique myself. And then after that, I switched over to Salty Pancakes. He had, I guess what is now a private video, he had it public at that time. I was literally falling asleep. And I talked to Jim Terry on the phone and told him what happened was I hallucinating. It was really fucking funny to see Salty tell Jim Terry, like the Flowbot, bicycle, I can even mute Jim Terry. That was pretty cool. It was just funny as hell, man. And that's what I like. I like entertainment, So I hope you guys get your differences worked out. I definitely tend to agree with Salty that something is up with Ty Corbin. He was there when the phone was found. How did he know it was there? It's a damn good question. From there, I would also like to revert back to the most important questions, which is that Dylan Round's phone last pinged 2:45, and the major suspect, James Brenner, was at the barbecue 20 minutes later. But none of that's here nor there now. I'm sure that we'll get it all worked out,
And all we're really doing here at Outlaw Video TV and on all these channels is just having a good time, providing entertainment, and also at the same time exposure to some of these, to the Dylan Rounds case that absolutely would not be getting that exposure otherwise. So everyone out there, all you true crime people, I encourage you one more time to give a real strong push for Dylan Rounds. One more time. Before you give up, there's a very interesting story there. Please look at it one more time and go through it and give nice presentations about Dylan Rounds so that we can get that case more exposure. And with that, thank you, Black Dove, for being on the panel. I know that you took some criticism, and it's weird. You know, I don't worry about that stuff, really. All the people that want to hate can just keep hating. Man, I'm 57 years old. I've been through this enough times. I used to buy books at a bookstore from a gentleman in the stockyards. And many years later, after I talked to him many times buying books from him, I read a lot, by the way. I read history and geography. And anyway, I met his son. Didn't even know it. I met his grandson. Didn't even know it. I'm hanging out with his grandson because he's a musician. I'm a musician. And really, I'm just learning music at the time, really. And I find out that this is this dude's grandson who I've known for years. So I got to know his grandson very well, doing music together. And then I got to know his son. And this man is full of wisdom, has a lot to say. But I was reminded the other day that he says, it don't really matter. It don't really matter. From a guy who's lived his whole life, run a bookstore, taught at TCJC College, TCC College, it don't really matter. You know, it really don't. I love you guys. Like, my heart's full of love. It really is. I don't have that option to not love. I have a song called Love Revolution. I didn't wake up one day deciding I was going to strive to love others. You know, I just have always had a natural leaning towards caring about other people. You know, it's not complicated. But I understand that that's unique. A lot of people have to strive. Like, you have to strive to be better. And it's your goal. And you read books and you do mantras and all of these things to be a better person. And I would never knock that. I think anyone who's striving to be better is good in my book. Hey, that's better than just, you know, being a thief. You know, what are you going to say? But, yeah, I don't have to strive to be better. I just wake up every day happy. I enjoy life. And on that, I always take the high road. This isn't the first time. I learned a long time ago. One, I'm not inclined to burn bridges and fuck people over and throw them under the bus. That's not who I am. I'm a team player. I've always been a team player. As a young kid, I had to teach the other kids in the neighborhood how to play football and how to play baseball. I had to teach the kids on my elementary football team and on my elementary baseball teams how to play. And so I spent hours and hours and hours like training these kids, and we kicked ass. We kicked ass in elementary football. We kicked ass in elementary baseball. And I had a great time. And it was really frustrating because I grew up without parents. So I wasn't able to keep that momentum going into junior high or high school. And that's, explains a little bit. I probably would have been a professional quarterback or wide receiver. Now, I just used to really love sports as a kid. Don't get me wrong, I had a good time. But my point is that I've always, in order to enjoy myself, had to teach other people and bring other people up so that my experience can be more enjoyable. And that's how it works to me. That's the high road. And, I don't know what to do because I really wanted to keep this Monday night show going and the Tuesday night after show going. I really did. But I suspect, I'm not going to lie. I suspect something. I haven't had time. I've been really busy. I've been working on this Rainbow in the Dark song. I work. I stay very busy. And so I've been very busy, and I really haven't had time to speculate too much or research it. But I tell you what I'll do is I will repost the video after this is over so that you can watch the video. All I know is that I need support on here. That's what I need. I need support. Last week in particular, I was sick. I had slugs in my nose, like was blowing like snot slugs. And then 2 days after that, I had coughed. I coughed day and night for 2 days. I'm over it now. I'd say yesterday was the last day and pretty much over it today. So I should be ready to sing Rainbow in the Dark tomorrow. I'm ready. Are you ready? So yeah, it's about the high road. Right now, I do feel like as far as this show goes, like I'm a little under the bus. I think that my co-host meant well. I really, truly do. I don't blame anyone for, trying to have a good time. But I do suspect that other people were involved. I do know that Viper is like a technical assistant. And so if nothing else, it may have just been Viper. But the truth is, it could have been Jim Terry. Jim Terry could have been contacting my co-host saying, say something to piss him off, blow it up, let's create some content. And I wouldn't blame him for doing that. I think the show got boring. To be honest with you, I think this right here is boring. I compare someone sitting here on YouTube by themselves talking to like masturbation, really. I don't think this is all that entertaining. I just felt obligated to come on here and kind of clear the air just a little bit. But then I also have some good information to share. So to get past this kind of introduction and tell Gina, I love you. I love you from the bottom of my heart dearly. I wish you the best. I wish everyone the best always. The only people that I don't like in this world are thieves. People that take what's mine. I don't like you people. I don't mind helping you build your own. I don't mind helping you make your own. I'm a team player. But don't take what's mine, because that's the person that I do not like. So as far as my co-host goes, I don't see it that way. I see it as, just trying your best to make your way. And it's just something that I personally don't want to deal with. I wished I would have felt better, because if I would have, I could have created some really good content. But I just felt like shit and really wanted to get off of the show. And the bottom line is I don't want to end up back there again. I don't want to be in that position again where I'm like, whoa, shit. Okay, so to let Gina off the hook, the real reason I ended the show that night was because, all these fake fucking YouTube accounts, all these fake fucking people. It's like way out of hand. And I had a fake person come on my show. I had a person come on my show, like on the panel, and Just Mike was on the panel. And then I had another guy come up that everywhere I go, this person goes, oh, yeah, I know you. Oh, yeah, I know that person. Oh, yeah, I know that. I know this person. But they don't know anybody. They say they know everybody, but they don't. And one classic example would be on my music show with Charlie at BoltNeck Studio. This guy came on the panel there and said, oh, yeah, Charlie, I know you. I know that. And Charlie was like, no, I don't know him. And so there is a guy floating around YouTube right now. You might find some shit over at Crack Lady, Crack Lady, come in, Crack Lady. Anyway, you might find this dude, this character floating around here and there. And he basically showed up in my life the week before I had family tragedy. And I remember that night, him saying multiple times two things. Oh yeah, I know that guy. Oh yeah, you remember? Like you remember I was there. Oh, you remember? You just don't. You know me. You just don't remember that kind of stuff. Okay, let me tell you. I'm not famous, but because I know a few people and I've done a few things, I do get that kind of treatment often. Often I have people say, "You know me, you just don't remember." Okay, well that freaks me out because I have a pretty damn good memory. I remember most people that I actually know. And so it kind of is a red flag when someone says, I know you, you just don't remember me. So that's one thing. The other thing that this guy has done, and it happens often in my world, is, oh yeah, we'll help you out. Yeah, we'll help you out. You want to record some songs? I got a studio, man. I'll help you out. Oh, you're getting a show going online? Oh yeah, I'll help you out. Yeah, I'll help you out. Yeah, I'll record your band, man. You want to record those songs? I'll help you record those songs. It happens all the time. Like everywhere I go, I can hardly go out without someone coming up to me and saying, hey, man, good to see you. I'll help you out. Yeah, I saw you doing this. Saw you doing that. I'll help you out. And then, of course, they never help you out. And you end up being the idiot that's like, hey, man, remember you said you're going to help me out? And, oh, dude, fuck, I was so drunk. I've been drinking since then, you know, or whatever. It's a million different things. But that's two things that happen with fake fucking people, like toxic, okay? So that's why I ended the video, Gina. Primarily, I ended the video because that fake motherfucker was on there propagating his fake fucking bullshit. So that's why I ended it. Now, I was tired, and I thought the content was fucking boring, so it was all of the above. I was already getting ready to end it. I was already getting ready to go, fuck, Gina, let's just call it a night. But when that happened, yeah, that's why I was like, exit stage left, because I don't think that dude is cool. I don't know. I don't tell people what to believe. I don't tell people what to do. I'm just telling you that I don't know who that person is, okay? I don't know who they are. And I know what they did was I have made multiple of these StreamYard videos, and that person has been in the text on all of my videos saying that, you know, they support me and that they'll help out and all this kind of stuff. It's cool, but it's just what it is. That guy's been on all of my videos. So I have communicated, not a bunch, but enough to let him know that, yeah, this is what I'm doing. You know, I'm a songwriter, and I want to get my name out as a songwriter. That's what I do. I can write songs all day, every day, and I want to get my name out as a songwriter. So sure enough, what's this guy do online or try to do? I don't know, because I haven't had time to listen, so I really don't know. I'm only going by what I've heard some other people say, like on Salty Pancakes show and stuff. So all I know is that this guy is totally taken on my personification of being on, you know, Jim Terry specifically, and these panels to be a songwriter, you know. And I told him specifically that I could write all these different shows songs. And I've mentioned back in my first show that I have a song that would fit well on Salty Pancakes show. But anyway, it's really not that big of a deal because I didn't have any expectations to really write Jim Terry a song that he would use. I didn't have any expectation to really write Salty Pancakes a song that he would use or anyone else. It's just a thought. I dream a lot. That's what you do as an artist. You dream. Without dreaming, you ain't got shit. So as an artist, that's what you dream. I mean, that's what you do is you dream, and then you aim for those goals and enjoy the process. And with that, you achieve some things. You achieve some dreams. Like just recording these 2 songs was a dream to me. All right. All right. So back to the high road and how this shit really works. A lot of people have accused me. Even Jim Terry himself said, oh, he's like a little Jim Terry. He's trying to be me. Well, let me clear the air, everybody. I'm not trying to be Jim Terry. All due respect, I think Jim Terry's a badass. But what I do is I identify with you, Jim Terry. I was this guy long before Jim Terry showed up. All right. You can search my name on YouTube and Google. I have thousands of videos. I've been entertaining online forever. Doesn't matter if I'm popular or famous or my shit sucks or doesn't suck. It's not my point. All I'm saying is I've been doing this shit forever. This isn't new to me. And being an adolescent like Jim Terry isn't new to me. Fuck, I listen to Howard Stern forever. We have a local guy here in Dallas-Fort Worth Market named Russ Martin. He wasn't my favorite, but some of his antics were fucking off the hook, dude. So Russ Martin, cheers, baby, and rest in peace. And with that, we have a very unique situation happening right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth radio market, where 97.1 The Eagle FM radio, they shut down 2 weeks ago. Shut down. No more The Eagle. They've been the hard rock radio station for a long time. They were the home of Howard Stern. They were the home of Russ Martin. And for a couple of days, they started playing songs that had the word freak. And I was like, what? Because I have a band called Mr. Freak and the Freak Show Band. That's right. Just Google that shit. There's songs out there. There's 5 of them. Mr. Freak and the Freak Show Band. So, of course, they didn't play any of my songs, which one is called Freak. But they got my attention. And then, sure enough, they came out last week with a new radio station, 97.1 The Freak. So we've got a radio station on the Dallas-Fort Worth market now called The Freak. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they play music. I think it's just talk radio. Today, for the first time, I was driving back from Oklahoma, so shout out to LD and shout out to Ken Poland also. But I was driving back today from Oklahoma, and I got a chance to listen to The Freak and Ben and Skin. They're letting loose. They've been on the radio. They started on the Ticket. They hopped over on the Fan for a little bit. Now they've been on the Eagle for a couple of years. So Ben and Skin, they're letting loose. They're kicking ass over there, man, on the Eagle. Their show is definitely way more them and way more real. So I like them finally. I knew they always had it in them. There just always has been, you're on the radio. So for some reason, man, they're letting the freak off of the chain over there on the Eagle. Ben and Skin, you guys are kicking ass. I enjoyed your shows. But check this out. Mike Reiner. Mike Reiner is on The Freak, man. I just found this out today. Mike Reiner is the original hardline on The Ticket. The Ticket is the first all-sports radio in the nation that started here in Dallas with Mike Reiner, Chuck Cooperstein, and a handful of other people, including Greg the Hammer Williams. And so anyway, Mike Reiner's got a fucking show on The Freak. That's 97.1 The Eagle. So I identify with you, Mike Reiner. I'd love to be involved. I'm available Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, The Freak. But yeah, man, I identify with you, Jim Terry. So let's not get all out of hand here, everybody. I'm an adolescent. I did a stage called the Texas Stage at the biggest longest lasting outdoor festival in America. I did the Texas Stage for about 7 years in a pretty conservative environment. We raised hell, man. It was adolescent, supreme. And that's what it's all about. Life, the closer you can get to summer camp in everyday life, the better off I am. So that's kind of where I am, is I'm at that adolescent stage always. And all you fuckers who want to fucking tell people, square peg into this round hole, this is what I got for you, is a mighty fuck you. Because if you read the Bible or any religion and philosophy, they all have one thing in common. They have many things in common, but they all have this one thing in common. And that is that to be like a child, that's the goal. You got to have this attitude of being a child. What's that mean? Does that mean sit around all day and eat potato chips and play video games? Maybe. I don't know. But for me, it definitely doesn't mean sit around. I have the fortunate ability that I am hyperactive. Now tonight, I am drinking a little bit of coffee and a little bit of Dr. Pepper, but that's because I'm talking, right? And I need to be drinking something. So anyway, here's the thing, is that it's the same thing with the Bible. When I read the Bible for the first time when I was like 25 years old, that's the first time I read the Bible. But I actually read it and I paid attention. And that character, Jesus Christ in the Bible, man, he ain't nothing like anybody that I know that says they're a Christian. This is one of the things with the high road, and why the high road is the high road is because this fucking world is upside down. It's upside down. What does that mean? Well, let's see. Dandelion. I eat dandelion. Did you know that? Yeah, I'm 57 years old. I am dandelion chef. You can go on YouTube and see my videos. Dandelion makes your dick hard. That's my new campaign. I just rolled it out. I actually haven't officially rolled it out. But I've been making videos because I've been eating dandelion for since I was 25. So I've been eating dandelion for 30 years. All right? You might think that's fucking crazy, but I think it's crazy that you think it's crazy. And to me, it's the evidence that this world is upside down and backwards. You don't have to believe me. Fuck, you can turn off this video right now. I really don't give a fuck. I am so beyond caring about whether someone knows the benefits of dandelion or doesn't know the benefits of dandelion. But for the sake of making a point of how the world is upside down before I progress into the next stuff I'm going to bring up here, I want to give you something very simple that you can chew on. Dandelion. It's growing outside. It's basically leafy green plants. That's what you're after. You want pretty pictures on your graphics, so I got all the yellow flowers. But see these leafy greens right here? That's what it is. Leafy green plants, whether it's chard or kale or a leafy green plant. This leafy green plant is the only source of calcium, magnesium, vitamin K, and that includes marijuana. Marijuana is a leafy green plant. So I have maintained for a long time that if marijuana wasn't illegal, then people would grow it and have so much of it readily available that people would eat marijuana, okay? But maybe they wouldn't because people are so fucking in another world, in another land, or I'm in another land. All I know is my land is right here. I eat these leafy green plants every day. And you know what they do? They make your dick hard. They cleanse your blood. They strengthen your blood. Do you know why your dick doesn't work, guys? Hey, ladies, the old boom, boom, not the same in the bedroom. Get your guys to eat some dandelion. Cut it up, sneak it in there, whatever it takes. Yeah, he'll be in the bedroom screaming for you. Hey, come here, baby. I got something to show you. Woo, woo, happy birthday. You know, you can think I'm funny. I don't give a fuck. I think you're fucking like blind. That's what I think. I think people are just blind. And I don't know how it happened other than to speculate that these fuckers with corporations and medicines to sell and what they call food, you know, packaged foods to sell, they tapped into the human psyche with their commercial campaign advertising. It's not just pictures that you see in repetition that make you want to go buy their products. They literally work on your auto reflex system. Advertisers that do it really well work on your auto reflex system so that you don't even know why you're at Krispy Kreme donuts lined up for those fucking way too sweet donuts. But you're going to go. You're going to go to the new In-N-Out burger and line up. You're going to go to the Black Friday sales even though you rarely get anything. Some of you do. I know you do. But even though you rarely get anything, you're going to go to the Black Friday sales. Why? Because your auto response system is being affected, initiated, and you're being programmed to fucking move. All right. It's something about music, for example. You know, Star Wars wouldn't be a Star Wars without the score. Movies would not be movies without the music. Music, Audio 101 is number one. Audio 101, number one, is that music is programming. You know, music makes you move. That's what you're doing as an artist. If you know how to play music, you know how to, with the note structure and the timing, how to make people move. That's why your favorite music makes you move. That's why your favorite movies have scores that have, when the music plays just right and the pictures on the screen pair up just right, you will cry. It's a auto reflex system that they tie into. So that's enough of that. I'm just telling you, there's a reason why eating dandelion seems so foreign to you when it shouldn't. The most common thing that you have in your life is dandelion. You step over it every day. It's in your yard. You know it's in your yard. You know dandelion is in your yard, but you ignore it. You maybe look at the flowers. Dandelion is also that flower with the ball on it. Maybe you pull the ball up and blow the seeds in the air and experience that magic. But you're not just eating those little green leaves right there. Instead, you're walking past these little green leaves, which is the healthiest food most readily available to you. And you're going to McDonald's. All right. So that's who I am. I'm the guy that identifies with the person that is Jesus Christ, the person who would not vow allegiance to neither the Hebrews or Rome. I know a million people will say, and a million people have written books about, oh no, Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins. It was his destiny. Well, okay, fine. Everybody is entitled to believe what they want to believe. I'm just talking about the storyline. The actual storyline in the book is one where that person, Jesus Christ, in the Bible, went to the temple and he cast out the bankers, people that were making money to exorbitant amounts in the house of God. And he denied the government. It's real simple. He was against crooks. I'm against crooks. You're against crooks. But for some reason, you don't have the balls to stand with just a character in a book that would go to a temple and say, hey, man, you guys are crooks. That's all. It's just a matter of the narrative of the conversations that you have. If you're not even going to have a fucking conversation about the crooks stealing your fucking money, I mean, how backwards are we? If you're not even going to have a conversation about leafy green plants, the source of calcium and magnesium, people are dying. I just spent the day yesterday with a friend of mine who has diabetes. He's getting ready to go on dialysis. Okay? And he's on medication for life. So that's the question for me is, do you want to eat dandelion for life or do you want to take medications for life? Don't sit here and act like you don't get the privilege, whether you think so or not, of acting like I'm just the idiot eating dandelion. How about you're eating pharmaceutical pills for life and you're stuck? You have to fucking eat pharmaceutical pills for the rest of your life. And they make you feel like shit. But somehow you're going to sit here and basically ignore me when I tell you, hey, man, this is the high road. I know. Shit's backwards. I know. Shit's fucked up. I know. But if there's any good, this is one of them. You can go outside and for free, you can pick this food. So let me talk about for a minute how upside down and backwards people are. You would think that dandelion, like vegetarians would go, oh, wow, man, dandelion, let's talk about that. Really, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat. But they don't. Like, I talk to vegetarians about dandelion, and same thing. They just don't even hear me. Like, they're deaf to these words. And so same thing with survivalists, you know, people that are self-sufficient survivalists that would like store up food and prepare for Armageddon. Same thing. I talked to them about dandelion. They just can't hear you. They're blind. Their ears are closed to the truth. All right. So you can call it whatever you want, but the truth is that leafy green plant is in your backyard growing right now. Kale is not growing. Chard is not growing unless you planted it yourself. This is growing all natural, just the environment. This dandelion is growing. You know what that makes this? That makes this plant the dominant leafy green plant. It's the one that nature has provided, whether you like it or not. Nature didn't provide Jack in the Crack tacos. I eat those too. I'm not knocking them. Nature provided that leafy green plant. And whether you like it or not, you can say, I'm not a rabbit. I'm not going to eat rabbit food. That's fine. None of that matters. The facts are that this is the only source of calcium and magnesium. It's the only source of vitamin K. It's packed full of vitamins A, B, C, D, E, K, all the way to Z, zinc. So you don't have to go to the store to buy vitamin supplements. You just go outside and eat some dandelion. And finally, when it comes to dandelion, I had a friend share with me recently that Elon Musk has a new brain tool that you will dig a hole in the back of your head the size of a pencil, and they'll stick a computer in your brain. You'll plug in just like the Matrix, and it'll fire off because, you know, humans only use 10% of their brain. So you have these dormant brain cells, and this new Elon Musk Matrix computer is going to fire off all these brain cells. Man, here's why your brain cells are dead. This is it. You want to fire your brain cells? This is it. This is what you're missing. This is the only thing that you're missing in your diet. I'm not saying that dandelion is the only food you should eat. No, I eat all kinds of shit. Saying this is the one food that you're missing from your diet. This dandelion cleanses your blood. It will keep you from having diabetes. It cleanses your blood. What's that mean? It means that it cleanses your liver, your kidneys, your gallbladder. How many people have had their gallbladder removed? I mean, it's like trendy, or it used to be, to have your gallbladder removed. Well, this is how you do it. Dandelion will flush your fucking gallbladder. The reason your gallbladder is so clogged and you're in pain and you have to have it removed is because you're eating all Jack in the Crack tacos and McDonald's and fried this and fried that and pizza. Come on, it's not fucking rocket science. But here I am on YouTube once again telling you about how the world is upside down because the benefits of dandelion are ignored. And you're still going to ignore me. Isn't that fucking crazy? I think it is. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit this real quick and take a real fast break and be right back.
Oh, baby, you already know. Bitches in them hoes. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. I don't need it anymore.
damn crime, now low down shame, now claim the fame, and I scratch grime. I'm down for mine, and I see the truth, not much left, support you. This drill time, not making fun up on the gun, lunchtime. Grip and grubs, like those lines, then overtime, and then voice dub.
Dropping money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor. Like them bitches in them hoes. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. Bitches get alright, cause we got this shit. Taking this town with a little twist. Ain't never been like this. Boys are dropping it. Money on the floor. Shit is getting heavy. Used to be the penny. No, you never get it.
No, you'll never get it. And that's the deal. It's because you won't ever get it. And that's okay. I'm not trying to be you, and I don't want you to be me. That's the thing. And I'm also not trying to be Mr. Entertaining. And I didn't get on this show ever to just sit here and talk about 20 different subjects for 8 hours. That's not, I can't do that. I'm not that guy. I got a lot of fun shit to do, like make music. I was playing music earlier. I was playing music yesterday. And that's what I do, is I make music. But I did make a list of some really cool things, and I made some graphics to share because, you know, all this is very important to me. It may not seem like it, but this is an opportunity to share something that is important to me. Back in the day right there, that's the Skull Press magazines that I did. I've been doing this all of my life. If you look at those Skull Press magazines, they have that green one there. That has an interview with Pantera when Phil Anselmo joined the band. That little picture on the bottom is the cover of Pantera's power metal record. So there is an interview with Phil Anselmo or with Pantera. And in that same magazine, there's an interview with Capitol Records, Rigor Mortis. And also that magazine has an interview with Savatage, Halloween, and Armored Saint. I don't even know who all else, but I've been doing this all my life. That's my point, giving myself away. And I'm good with that. It's what I do. And I can't thank you guys enough for just spending a little bit of time with me here as I kind of go through a couple of things. I was talking about identifying with Christ, identifying with Jim Terry, being a child at heart. You know, that's what you're going to get. I don't have an option. This is what I do. This is my band, Mr. Freak and the Freak Show Band. This is me singing one of our songs live. So thanks for taking a look at that. This is my a picture of my CD, Mr. Freak and the Freak Show Band. On that CD is a song called Love Revolution. It says that love dominates the world. So you can think anything about me that you want. You can misconstrue me, misunderstand me any way you want, but it's never going to change who I actually am. So I want to come right on out and share with you some of the shit that I would like to do and some of the shit that I do not want to do. But first, to kind of get you going, I'm going to show you this. This is Aaron Dykes of Truth Stream Media. Everybody, when you get done watching this show, I encourage you to go over to Aaron Dykes, Truth Stream Media. Him and his wife, Melissa, probably have one of the best, most informative YouTube channels about the kind of stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. This is just a picture of us. I wanted you to see the other one because it has the Truth Stream Media. But there's the picture. That's me and Aaron Dykes. Aaron Dykes was very good to me. This is me and Alex Jones. Little known fact, because we have been deplatformed. I was actually on the Alex Jones show 3 times. That's right. I was on the Alex Jones show 3 times. for some of the fun things that I do. That's the way I like to think of it. Other people call it activism. I just call it summer camp fun in a world of tyranny. You know, really, you don't have to follow the money very far at all to notice that there's a lot of real problems with money, our money. And again, I'm not here to say, oh, we have to audit the Fed. Oh, we have to end the Fed. Oh, we have to do this. Oh, we have to do that. That's not what I've ever done. I've had a good time talking about just the facts and what's going on. And like anyone else, of course, I have a good time with it. And, you know, even poke around and make some fun of it. So there you go. Occupy the Fed Dallas. That's what I did. This is just one of the many things that I did. But this tied in 10 years ago with the Occupy movement. And tied in with what I did, my kind of version of the Occupy movement, because I never bought into the Occupy movement. Here in Dallas, Fort Worth, the Occupy movement, they had a meeting at the JFK Memorial, and that's where they gathered. And that caught my attention because I go down to the JFK Memorial and down to that area quite often. It's a place of solace and reflection for me, and always has been. And so then they marched, Occupy Dallas marched directly over to the Federal Reserve Bank. Now, that's not what this is. This is Occupy Dallas, but that's not the Federal Reserve Bank. This is in the streets of downtown Dallas here. And I took these pictures myself. So I have tons of pictures and videos online of all of this that I'm going to be telling you about. Again, I'm not you. I'm not pretending to be you. I'm not Occupy Dallas. I'm not pretending to be Occupy Dallas. This is my tent. I did set up a tent over at Occupy Dallas. It says Revolution on it, and it has love backwards. So that's the official Ron Paul Love Revolution kind of scribbled on there. And that is what inspired my song Love Revolution. It's about liberty for all. My life is always about helping other people, surrounded by music, because I always love music as my primary source of joy. And then also a position of freedom and actual independence for all. Okay. So you would think that's what this is right here, is independence for all, but it's not. See that blue flag right there? That blue flag is the United Steelworkers Union. Okay. And this is the difference between me and most every one of you, is I don't kiss anybody's ass. Nobody. I'm not kissing anybody's ass ever. All right. Not even the United Steelworkers Union and all of my friends that are members of the United Steelworkers Union, or this guy. Looking for a particular picture here. I don't guess I have it. Oh, well, it'll be all right. I have enough other information to show you. I meant to show that when I was talking about money. You don't have to go very far to find out that money in the United States of America is fucked up, and that means your money and everything attached to it. Meaning inflation, deflation, rules, regulations, taxation without representation, overtaxation, the giving of that money to illegal immigrants so that they will subsidize labor. That's right. The real problem in America is subsidized labor. But that's not part of my plan here tonight, and I don't want to be here all night. I have some actual points to make. So this is the United Steelworkers Union flag right here. What I did after I had a good time over at the Federal Reserve Bank for a little while, I went over to Occupy Dallas, set up my tent, and kind of encamped there. The reason I was able to do this is because I was playing music. I was getting ready to record, or maybe already recorded, and was promoting Mr. Freak and the Freak Show Band, that CD. And it was a lot of fun. But to put myself in a position to be able to make music, making music is not easy, all right? It takes a full-time commitment. So I was full-time committed to making music, which means that you have a little extra time and can play. So with my little bit of extra time, this is what I chose to do. I would practice every day, and instead of with the band, and instead of staying at the band rehearsal space, I would go sleep down here and get up these people's asses. And then I also did my vocal rehearsals here. When you do vocal rehearsals, I'm a singer. So vocal rehearsals are just do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, do, right? And it gets very annoying. I play it with guitar or sing it with guitar or on piano. So it sounds really nice for a few minutes. For a minute, it sounds really nice, especially the ladies. They're like, oh, it sounds so nice. And then it's like, God damn, you're still going, you know, an hour later. So part of being a singer means you have to go somewhere where you can make a lot of noise and not bother people. So this was one of the things I was doing at this time. But again, that United Steelworkers flag, this will show you the difference between me and you and everyone else. And why there's a lot of division, actually, is that the United Steelworkers Union clearly states on their website that they do this kind of stuff right here. Remember, this was happening at a time where George Soros was in the news every day, and that George Soros money, oh my goodness, that George Soros money is affecting politics and the Wall Street Occupy movement and the housing boom, the bubble burst, all of that, right? The George Soros money, the George Soros money, the George Soros money. But no one would say where the George Soros money was. Well, I did. I told you it was right here. There's your George Soros money right there. They funnel it through the unions when it comes to the street. And all you have to do is go to the union website, and they pretty much lay that out in what their purpose is, their manifesto. I forget what the actual name is, but you know, in their purpose, that's what they do, is they do things to affect and a regulation and change that infects their employees in a positive manner, which would be steel workers here in the United States, the United Steelworkers Union. And so keep in mind, I have friends that are members of this union. But if you go to the Occupy website, the Occupy Wall Street Journal, Occupy Wall Street website, they clearly state that they're completely independent of any outside organization's financial influence. Not the case here. You see all those people in that picture? That's Caraway right there. I think his first name is David, but I'm going to say it's Caraway. I know is his last name. Dana, David, something like that. That guy right there next to the flag, to the left of it. That dude is CIA, FBI, secret agent, whatever you want to call it. I don't know his official title, but he's not a normal person. He's a paid employee of the United Steelworkers Union. Most of those people are paid employees of the United Steelworkers Union. Where did they get that money? George Soros? I don't know, but if you want to track George Soros money, you don't have to track it much further than that right there. This flag, United Steelworkers Union flag, was at the front of every Occupy Dallas march. And Occupy Dallas did cause a stink. They caused a lot, they gained a lot of attention. All right, so how did Occupy Dallas even exist? Well, it was because of the United Steelworkers Union. The first day when they gathered, after they went to the Federal Reserve, they went over to Pioneer Park. At Pioneer Park, when they got there, was a truck with tents, food, cases of water, everything that you would need to set up a tent. All right. And all the people that you're seeing in those pictures right there are the people that were passing those tents out and chairs and water and food. They actually set up a kitchen, you know, the whole 9 yards right there at Pioneer Park. So Occupy Dallas would not have existed without the United Steelworkers Union. You still probably have no idea why all that shit's important. What's it fucking matter, Rick? This is as boring gets. We knew you were fucking boring and too serious about this shit. Well, because I can have fun with it, okay? This is how I fucking have fun. I have fun telling the truth, knowing what the fuck's going on, all right? Transparency. And I don't care if you hate me for it. It's not why I do it. I do it because this is what I do. Okay? I don't wake up going, oh, I gotta do something. No, this is just what I do. When shit's right in front of my eyes and I can figure it out that easy, that's what I do. I can't help it. You know, just I'm an observant person, I guess. So that's how I have fun. I don't have as much fun talking about the weather and about puppy dogs and how my day went at work and all that shit. That's not how I have fun. Sorry, everybody. But I have fun playing music and I have fun talking about real shit that's actually happening. But that's all it is talking. Like, I didn't burn any building down. You know, I didn't assault anybody. You know, I did have to ignore a lot of pigs. I ignored a lot of police. But let me kind of wrap this up. If anybody in the future has any questions about this, I'd love to go into details about all kinds of stories I could tell you, but I want to keep it concise. What I did was put together a note. Do you remember Facebook notes? I put together a Facebook note called Occupy Transparency. In that note, I put the videos that I had, the pictures that I had, and I thought I had one here of Lico Reyes. Lico Reyes at the time was the president of the United Steelworkers Union, okay? Lico Reyes, that's right. Write that name down. You're going to want to Google it and check it out because that's what happened. Lico Reyes was the president of the United Steelworkers Union at the time that this shit went down. Lico Reyes, you remember that name. He is an actor. He is Father Vito. So that's just one of my stories, dude, is that I had seen this guy and I saw a lot of things I don't have time to go into, but I had seen this guy, but I didn't place him as Father Vito until I like walked up to him and like heard him talk. And I was like, oh, God damn, it's Father Vito. So that's Lico Reyes. He's a pretty well-known actor and has been for a long time, but he's also an activist and politician here in the Arlington, Texas area where I'm from. Has been for a long time. So here I am, kind of underground, entrenched, independent journalist wannabe in the middle of Occupy Dallas, seeing all of the CIA, FBI, Secret Service activity, all this George Soros money being funded into this to create regulation and political change. And I'm making a video and I'm approaching the guy that I know is running this, is the president of the United Steelworkers Union. And the reason why is because I'm about to expose it. I'm going to go ahead and put out a press release and let the press know about this shit, that the United Steelworkers Union is actually funding Occupy Dallas. So I walk up with video camera and it's freaking Father Vito is running Occupy Dallas. Talk about ironies, man. Life can get pretty fucking funny at times, right? So it gets funnier. I did put together the press release. I sent it out. I spent a whole night gathering, harvesting emails and putting together my immediate release. And I think it worked. Bottom line is my intention was to bring transparency to it. That is always my intention. If you do any research on the things that I've done that have had an impact, I've been on Mark Davis. Mark Davis is one of my personal biggest supporters. All right. So Mark Davis here in Dallas Fort Worth radio. But anyway, I sent out the press release. I sure did. And the next week they were cleaning up Occupy Dallas. They were like out there with tractors, picking up the tents and shit. And that wasn't my intention to shut it down. My intention was to bring exposure to it and transparency to it. And Occupy Dallas for sure was attached to all of Occupy Texas. Again, it'd take me a while to tell you those stories and how I know that. I'd be happy to if you're interested, but I don't think that you are. I'm only showing you this to show you how upside down and backwards life really is and who I am. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to get you to pity me. I'm not trying to get you to honor me or be amazed by me. I think it's just important that if you're going to spend the time, fucking know who I actually am. You could have taken the time to do the research yourself and found all of this shit, and I assume that everybody will. So why not just go ahead and tell you in a way that maybe you can understand it? Basically, that's what I do. When I see shit that's wrong, I don't have a choice. I have a good time just going, hey, man, that's wrong. But I'm going to tell you one more thing before I move on. Lico Reyes, they Occupy Dallas is still in existence today. I'm not going to mention names right now, but I will tell you this, that they had a small little organization that they did called Bean Counters or something like that, where they kind of kept the group together and changed the name and stuff. And that's what they do. They just change the names of their little groups and parties all the time and keep funding it and keep it all going so that those same people are prominent in the community and have a voice, especially when it's time. So I was invited. One of the people from Occupy Dallas invited me to this show where they were doing open mic and people speaking and things like that. So I had a girlfriend at the time, and I took my girlfriend with me to a bar in Dallas. So I'm sitting there, and I got my guitar, and I'm expecting to play. And the truth is, I don't want to stay all night. I got my girlfriend. I don't want to be there all night. So I was hoping to go ahead and play. Well, they weren't calling me up, and I was kind of getting a little antsy. And guess who comes over to me? No, nothing but Lico Reyes. Lico Reyes stands right next to me, and he's got a jacket on. And I look over, and I see a fucking pistol. He was intentionally showing me a fucking pistol under his jacket. So, yes, Lico Reyes held a fucking pistol on me for about 15 minutes or so. And I had to quietly tell my girlfriend, who thankfully was cool and smart, I said, when you're in a car and someone says, hey, don't freak out, but the cops are behind us, it's one of those kind of situations. So just be cool and keep your chill on. But really, this dude next to me has a gun pointed at me, but he's not going to shoot. If he was going to shoot, he already would have. I've already been through this. When I was a kid, I had to go to Jackson Middle School in Grand Prairie in 7th grade. My first day at school, some chick in English class says something to me, and I say, man, just leave me the fuck alone, okay, bitch? And she says, oh, no, you didn't. You call me a bitch. And I'm like, yeah, I called you a fucking bitch, okay? Leave me alone. She says, well, my cousin's going to meet you in the bathroom, and they're going to beat you up. I said, man, I'll be in the fucking bathroom right here, right after class. And sure enough, the bathroom filled up with fucking vatos with knives. And we gonna kill you, man. We gonna kill you. I was like, well, fucking kill me then. Right? It wasn't my first time then either. I've been dealing with these fucking idiots all my fucking life. We gonna kill you, man. I'm like, look, if you were gonna kill me, you already would have. Excuse me, I gotta get to fucking class. And I walked through a gang of 12 Mexicans with knives, and they didn't know what to do because they didn't have that plan. They never had anyone stand up to them before. Most people piss their pants and live in fear of these guys for the rest of their lives. So you know what happened to me was Santos Ramirez was the biggest Mexican in the fucking school. And anybody at South and Jackson Middle School in Grand Prairie knows who I'm talking about. Not Santos, it was his brother. Either way, to not get bogged down, the biggest Mexican at Jackson Middle School came up to me and was like, brother, man, I got you, man. I got your back, man. Nobody's ever going to fuck with you. So by standing up to a bunch of pussy-ass Mexicans, which no one else would have done, I got the respect of, like, all the Mexicans in the school. And that's how this fucking thing works, right? I don't fucking, nobody's going to bully me. You just can't get away with that. I'll suffer. I don't care. Whatever it is. You call it suffering. To me, this is how I enjoy life. I cannot be under your thumb. You may not have your foot at my throat. Good news, I don't want you under my thumb. I don't want my foot at your throat. If you're going to be a part of this, you have to be here because you want to be here. And that's how it works. And I know that I've just got a few viewers, which is crazy as hell, 6 people watching. And I can't even believe I'm making this. I'm probably going to delete this video. I honestly wanted to make it for 2 reasons. One is to tell my co-host that I'm sure that she will be much better off doing another show with someone else because all this shit's fucking boring. And what I would like to do is, if at all possible, find someone that enjoys this so that I can enjoy it with you. Not the serious aspect of it, but having a good time with it. Fuck, I don't mind tearing apart a crime if I can have a good time doing it. I'm not, I can't do it otherwise. I have to be able to be myself. And I don't want to sit here and argue with anyone. I don't think you want to sit here and argue with anyone. I want to be flipping anybody's bitch switch. I ain't about that. I'm about peace and love and all that groovy stuff. Yeah, the high road. I enjoy this. Yeah, and I can have a good time doing it. So, basically, wiped out Occupy Dallas. The way I got into true crime and the way it really intrigued me is this shit right here. Do you see that? This is another reason why I am different from you. I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I'm not saying that you're less than me. I'm not saying pity me. I'm not saying anything. I'm just pointing out this is me. And this is why we're different. All right, you see that? It's an IMSI catcher. BS. Stingray 2 technology. Let me see if I got that picture there. I've got a picture here of the actual Stingray 2. Well, I thought I did. All right, so I'm going to go back this way and not bog you down. I thought I had a picture of the actual Stingray machine, but maybe it didn't upload. So what I'm going to do is go through these one at a time slowly and kind of talk to you about them. Basically what's happening, they're called cell tower interceptors. And as it relates to true crime, nobody has the balls to talk about it. To ask Jim Terry about it, and I'm not saying he doesn't have the balls to talk about it. Maybe he just doesn't care to talk about it. Maybe he thinks it's boring. But I don't think it's boring. I think it's very essential. Does it make or break a case? No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying it's important. It's just as important as someone's sex life. If someone is a polygamist and has 30 wives, I think that's important. It at least sheds light on, a missing person case. If someone's preference is to be gay, I think it's important to know that. If the cops are using this technology, I think it's important to know that. What they're doing with it, what it means, who knows? But it's important to have the conversation. Can we stop it? Should we stop it? Should we pass laws? Should there be regulations? Should we get out and vote? I'm not saying that shit. I'm only saying, look what's happening. That's it. Look what's fucking happening here. It's called cell tower interceptors. The way I came across this was with this guy right here. I do have this picture. This guy right here. I had heard of the Stingray 2 technology because that's what I do. I got my ear to the ground. I keep up with shit, okay? But here in Midlothian, Texas, probably a few years ago, this case happened 5 years ago. So rest in peace, Missy Beavers, Midlothian, Texas. Just as good of a time to give a shout out. If you want to find out more about Missy Beavers, go check out the True Crime Broads podcast. I'm expecting to have these True Crime Broads here on Outlaw Video TV, but that's part of the reason I'm doing this video. After they watch this video, they might go, fuck that. I know that dude's cool, but we don't want nothing to do with that shit. Because to me, again, this is important. How important? I don't know, but it's important. It's important enough. A phone will automatically connect to the Stingray without any control from the user. It mines data off the phones very quickly, said Pete Schultz. Okay, Pete Schultz works for the New York Police Department, and he assisted the Midlothian Police Department in this case with Missy Beavers. And I'm not even faulting them. I'm not saying they were wrong to utilize this technology. I think that if you're in law enforcement, you know, most people are going to expect you to use the best technology available. Well, it just so happens that in this case, this technology is a technology that tracks every phone within a certain distance. Let's just say, for the sake of making the case, it's 5 miles in this case. We don't really know. We don't know the technology that exists today. That's my point. This case is 5 years old. So 5 years ago, they were using Stingray 2 technology in Midlothian, Texas, to help track, potentially, the murderer in this case. For the record, Missy Beavers was murdered in the early morning hours in Midlothian, Texas, in a church. The murderer was on videotape going through the building, completely decked out in fatigue. So the person was so covered that to this day, they still don't even know if it was a man or a woman. I think it was a man. I think it was a Mexican man that has experience with horse training, because the person has a gait. People talk about the gait exhaustively, but I've never heard anyone say, kind of looks like, well, a million of these Mexican guys that we see around here. And I hate saying that because I'm not trying to apologize. I'm not trying to be racist or, take an easy shot at a race of people. I just telling you that I live in Mansfield, Texas. I live 1 city away from Midlothian, Texas. And out here, there are horse farms where Mexicans train horses all over the place. And they all have that gait. That's all I'm saying. I see it all the time right here in this area. So I'm not saying I know for sure, but that's what it looks like. And I've never heard anyone say that. Most people today are leaning towards it being a female, actually. But either way, Missy Beavers was murdered. And even though they had cameras there, where it took place was right off of camera. So we don't, or at least the footage hasn't been released if they do have footage of the crime taking place. But either way, it's a very intriguing story. And if you want to find out more, the True Crime Brides are pretty much dedicated to that story with Missy Beavers. Missy Beavers was a workout instructor. She did a gladiator class early in the morning, and they normally did it outside at the park. But it was raining that day, and so when it rained, apparently they did it under the portico, under the covering of this Church of Christ. One more thing I don't hear anyone talk about is the conservativeness of the Church of Christ. I'm not going to get into that here, but it seems to me like it's something that should at least be discussed, and I don't ever hear that discussed. So those are some of the things that if I get the opportunity with the True Crime Broads, we'll talk about, among a lot of other things. And again, I can have fun with that. I can have a good time talking about the facts, just like this right here. I've been talking about Stingray technology now for at least 3 years, probably more like 5 years. You know, it's been about 5 years ago since I first heard of it. But about 3 years ago, I was watching this Missy Beavers case. About 3 years ago, I was watching this video. This is from a Nancy Grace video, by the way. So what you want to do right now is more important than this video. If you're interested in Missy Beavers, just type in Nancy Grace and her channel, and then Missy Beavers. And she has a pretty exhaustive video about it, which goes into this Stingray technology. So, you know, Nancy Grace talked about it, and I commend her for doing it. Everybody esteems her and looks up to her. I don't understand why Gisela K and the true crime grizzly community is so afraid of the subject of Stingray technology. I don't understand how you can present a case, honestly, without just having the discussion. Okay, well, I'm sure that Stingray technology has been deployed and they're reading all the phones out there right now. But I also understand why the police don't want people knowing about it and all of that. So that's what we're going to get into, and we're going up here to where I was. Just so happened to switch over to Netflix. I got really tired of all the true crime stuff on YouTube. Needed a break, and what do I find? I hop over onto Netflix, and it's Web of Make-Believe. Death, Lies, and the Internet. So here's this guy, Daniel Rigg-Maiden. You know, he's apparently a crook, and he got busted, right? And you just have to watch this if you have Netflix. It's definitely worth watching. So this guy's in jail. He was tried, convicted. He's in prison. So in prison, he goes to the law library. He figures out how to get information, public records filed, and gets information disclosed on his case. He's going through his records. He finds in an email from a postal, United States Postal Office, sends an email that said that Stingray technology was used. And so he found one line where Stingray was mentioned to be used. So he circled it, whatever, you know, and researched it. And so there it is. That's how they busted him. He knew that they had to have some kind of secret technology to have come up with the information that they had to bust him. And he found it. So he represented himself. He did not hire an attorney. He's in prison. And he went to court. You can see the documentary. It's on fucking Netflix right now. This dude went to court, defended himself, and said, fuck you. Your technology is unconstitutional. And, of course, he didn't win the case. But what happened, and I don't, spoiler alert, I guess, is that after he got, you know, back to prison, the state contacted him, or federal government contacted him, said, well, tell you what, just plead to this little thing over here, and we'll let you walk. So they let him walk, and the reason why they let him walk, he almost shouldn't have walked. Everybody should have come out in his defense. Every fucking lawyer in the United States should have come out in his defense and said, hey, we're here to represent you. Don't walk. Because this case had the opportunity to set precedents for the way that they use this technology. So they let him walk so that they wouldn't have precedents for the way. So here's this Web of Make-Believe on Netflix there. And I'm just going to let that sit there until it pops up on my monitor, and then I'm going to read it. The government is sidestepping the Fourth Amendment by engaging in warrantless location tracking of Americans using cell site simulators, also known as Stingrays. Enforcement can pinpoint a user's location, sometimes to within 6 feet. There is currently no requirement to notify people when Stingrays access their phones. The only way for an individual to avoid Stingray tracking is to turn off their phones and not carry it with them. Well, you can't even turn off your fucking phones, can you? Law enforcement officers can use Stingrays to track the movement of individuals in real time across neighborhoods and even inside private homes. All right. So that's where this stuff gets really rough. If you have the opportunity, there is a song that I wrote and recorded called Heavy Metal. Aaron Dykes, who is the one that had me on InfoWars 3 times, in his review of this record, he said that that song was a history lesson. And it is. If you read the lyrics, they're very enjoyable to read. But one of the things it's talking about is the matrix and breaking the matrix. The guitar is run through a voice box. It's made to sound like a wormhole. I mean, it's an amazing fucking song. And one of the things it says is that they back-ended technology and put it in our faces. So that's what's happened. They are literally running your cell phone in every major city. Every police department has this, and they run them regularly. Running your cell phone through their computer, their antennae. As a matter of fact, there you go. There's a good layout of it. I'm going to let that pop up on my monitor so you see. Stingrays prowling the streets. So you see those vans going down the street? You think they're like Google vans or something? Up in Oklahoma, they have helicopters flying over those weed crops. There's weed everywhere in Oklahoma. You didn't know it. And, you know, they're reading all those cell phones right here in Mansfield. You go to my Facebook page, I have a video of a drone that I see it about once a month or so that just sits out here over Mansfield, probably Mansfield, kind of Venus area, and just sits there all night long. And I know that it's another version of this technology right here. And that's the scary shit, is that this Stingray technology is already old technology. We don't even know about all the fucking technology they have today. Somebody does, and if somebody were kind, they would share that with us. Coming up here is another graphic. Dirt boxes on a plane. So, you know, I don't know about this stuff because I haven't seen it with my own 2 eyes. So I'm not saying, oh my God, I know this is happening. Look exactly what's happening. All I'm saying is it's worth having a conversation about. And especially if you're talking true crime cases like Dylan Rounds, for example, or any other true crime, you pretty much have to consider the possibility that this type of technology is being used. So there you go. There's my kind of final example of how I am not you and you are not me, and I'm not pretending to be you and I'm not asking you to be me. I love you and I will love you to death and have a good time doing it. But that's what I do. And I really want to reach out to anybody because I would like to keep this going. I think this show can stand on its own. I really do. I don't know what's going to happen. I can tell you this, that I'm going to move that. There you go. Talk to you for a second, and I'm going to end the show. I'm thankful, very thankful to Jim Terry, to Salty Pancakes for your support, and all the people that have supported this channel over the last few weeks. I am also extremely thankful to Gina, because without Gina, the first show would have just never happened. I literally came on here 3 weeks ago to tell people that watch Outlaw Video TV, which is a very few, that I was going to be on the Jim Terry TV show talking about my music. And I just wanted to get exposure for my music. I mean, that's what all artists want to do and are trying to do right now, is come up with creative ways to have your music heard, exposed, and create a platform for your music as an artist. And so that's my number one desire. I'm shameless about it. I don't, you know, I love my music. I hope you do too. If you don't, that's okay. I share a lot of different music. I'm sure that of all the music that I share, I have some shit that you like too. So there's that. But, you know, I have Gina to thank for it, because she came on that first Monday. Then heart transplant lady came on and showed her scars to Jim Terry. Jim Terry came on. It just kind of all took off. So I'm very thankful for, you know, what happened. And like, if I need to correct anything that I said, I did say that if I knew it was going to end like this, I would have never have done it. I do hold to that. You know, I don't know what to say. I just didn't enjoy the show last week at all, the way it ended. And it wasn't just Gina, it was me. It's the entertainment value. I thought asking the questions about Dylan Rounds were very pertinent, but I also understand that there's only a certain amount of people that really care about that. And so even myself acknowledged that I was intending to have more of an entertaining approach. I was just tired. I was sick and I was tired, and I didn't want to I'd kind of run out of creativity. But then, like I said, one more time, it was that my show got invaded also. It wasn't just whatever was happening with Gina. It was the other two people that came on the show that made me say, I'm out of here. And it's really those two people and the way the show ended that I want to keep that video offline. But it's also because my co-host definitely complained to me personally about a legitimate concern of people coming after her. All these fake accounts on here and people trying to dox each other and all this stupid shit. Fucking Sleeper Cell came on my Facebook page today. I blocked him over there. Whatever that means, I don't know, you know. And I don't care, really. But it's just fucking weird, honestly. It's just weird as hell. Jim Terry doxed Sleeper Cell on our show. That video is still here. I don't plan on taking it down, but I may take it down someday. I don't know. I don't mind Sleeper Cell in general being doxed, because I invited him. He was in my feed on our show, so I invited him on our show and told him to go on the Jim Terry TV show. Jim Terry invited him. Salty Pancakes had a show, invited him. So, you know, when you do all of that shit, I think you can kind of expect to have some people fuck with you back. But for someone to come after Gina is just wrong. And I don't want to be responsible for that shit in any way, shape, or form at all whatsoever. So if anyone is interested in doing some things like covering true crime cases from the standpoint of not being all patriotic, because I don't think you have to fucking worship the government to talk about true crime. Jesus didn't worship the government. Okay? I'm in good company. So I just don't have to do that. I can have a good time talking about true crime. I can have a better time talking about music, because that's what I do. I play music. I make music. But back to being thankful to Jim Terry, Salty Pancakes, Gina, everybody. The views that I needed to monetize the site did happen. I'm over 4,000, and Wood had already monetized, but we've had a very busy weekend, so probably tomorrow, but within the next couple of days, we'll get it all monetized. The truth is, though, is I didn't start this show to monetize my site. I was trying to continue the show to monetize this site. The videos that I did that are Jim Terry related, most of them are already, what do you call it? If you are on YouTube and someone uses your content, you can, like if you're a YouTube creator, there's a program here that we can run to have YouTube search to see who all's used our content. And we have shamelessly used Jim Terry content. So I'm assuming that it's Jim Terry TV that has run that program, or, you know, just YouTube naturally does it because he has his stuff set up that way. Or maybe it's one of the other bands, or I don't know. But either way, my point is that I don't ever expect the monetization of Outlaw Video TV, no matter what I do. If I don't ever do true crime, or if I end up doing a big true crime show, I don't ever expect the monetization to add up to money. I hope that it adds up to more exposure for the music that I play, more exposure for the bands that I promote here on Outlaw Video TV and will continue to promote. That's what I hope monetization does. I hope that it works together with the algorithms and helps place Outlaw Video TV in the search engines and in the results, so that people hear my music and hear the music of the bands that I promote. Those are the things that are the most important to me. In the meantime, I do have a genuine interest in true crime. And so that's the other reason why, you know, my other co-host, she didn't give a fuck about true crime. You know, ain't no sense in pretending. That's what made our content so fucking awesome on our first couple of shows, is because it allowed me to explain it to a newcomer, to someone who really had no clue about the case. So it was interesting for a minute, and then it got boring to me too. And so I think if you're going to do this type of show, you know, I definitely don't want to do a show where I'm sitting here playing guitar for 2 hours. I don't want to do a show where I'm talking about 20 different subjects for 4 hours. I just don't want to do that. I want to do a show where I'm talking about my work day, or, you know, I'm not that good of an artist. Like I paint, I do all kinds of decorative shit, but I need my hand. I don't know. I never thought about doing that. You know what it is that I have a monetized YouTube channel for house painting. So my intention is to do the music show here on Outlaw Video TV every Wednesday. And then on my house painting channel, I intend on doing a show there that is house painting consultation, free color decor consultation, and free estimates. I can estimate your house even if it's in New York or Minnesota or Florida. I can get on there and you can show me your house, and I can tell you if the house were here, how much I would paint it. I don't know how much people would charge to paint it in Florida, but I can tell you if it were here, how much people charge. But more important than that, I can help you with color selection, and I can help you understand all the products that need to be used on your home and why. So the idea is that I can save you money, I can save you time and headache just by spending 10 minutes with me on my live stream showing me what you need to have painted. So I'm doing that. I'm doing the music show, but I would be very interested in doing a true crime related show where I can just be myself and not have to fucking please anybody and just talk about this shit. And I know I would have a good time, especially if I had a cohort, if I had real support, I could have a good time, because that support allows me to, you know, be me. But when I'm sitting here fucking arguing with you and shit, I have to, like, you know, really be, you know, on point. And it's just not what I'm really wanting to do, really. I mean, I think that I have a lot of good information. I think that I'm completely different than everyone else. And that's part of what this whole true crime thing is bringing fresh eyes and a fresh perspective. And I'm telling you, I fucking eat dandelion. And nobody eats dandelion, but I do. Dr. Sairam Pandey, he's a professor at Windsor University. He's the one, if you just YouTube search his name or go to any of my Dandelion Chef stuff, I talk about Dr. Siren Pendy. He's the one that did all the tests. He did the test in the lab, on animals, and on humans. And he did it all independently to prove that dandelion reverses the effects of cancer, effectively curing cancer. But you can't call it curing cancer. You can only say that it reverses the effects. And the truth is that after he got through all of that, you know where he ended up at? Was with a vitamin supplement that already existed. You know, there's already dandelion. You can go buy dandelion roots, you know, at your vitamin supplement company. You can buy dandelion leafy green. You know, I don't think it's the same. I don't think dried leaf in a capsule is the same as the fresh leaf in your yard. But he specifically dealt with dandelion root, encapsulized dandelion root, and sold it. He sold it to a vitamin company, but because I talked to him and he knows who I am, and I have a book already written about dandelion. He told me that he saved and guaranteed in the purchase of his research, he saved place for me to have full access to it. I just haven't been able to take advantage of it. But nevertheless, dandelion, what it does, you have to understand cancer. Cancer is an infected blood cell that duplicates. The reason you have infected blood cells is because your blood is weak. Everybody has infected blood cells. Even healthy, strong bodies with strong blood have infected blood cells. And that's what your blood does. It attacks those infected blood cells and repairs those areas and gets rid of them. That's how the body works. The problem is that people are malnourished because they're not eating real food. And in that process of malnourishment, your body can't fight off all of these infected blood cells. So when an infected blood cell continues to duplicate, that is a cancer. All right. And so what dandelion does, it's so strong and it strengthens and cleanses the blood that it restores your blood to the ability to complete apoptosis. That's right. Apoptosis. Get out your pens and pencils, boys and girls. You've got a new word. It's apoptosis. Apoptosis is the word that by definition means your blood completes its intended purpose of dying off when it is supposed to. What that means is that right now, in the time that I just spoke this sentence, your body just reproduced millions of blood cells, like millions of blood cells. So many they can't even fucking put a number on it. And so since your body is reproducing these blood cells continuously, blood cells are also dying off continuously. Well, it takes healthy blood and a healthy body for both of those things to happen. One, for the blood cells to reproduce at a greater capacity, and then also for the blood cells to die off. That's what your blood does all day, every day. So cancer is just where your weak system gets caught up in the quagmire of the process. So all you have to do is get some good, strong greens in your body. Dandelion being the dominant leafy green plant. So it's the same thing. I bring a fresh perspective. You know, how many people do you know that go, oh, I identify with Jesus Christ in the Bible? Yeah, the guy that threw the tax collectors out, the guy that threw the money exchangers out, the guy that threw the religious harlots out. Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, we're turning over tables right here constantly, every day, 24/7. I don't wake up turning over tables because I think it's a great idea or because I need to strive to obtain to a certain place in my life. No, I'm turning over tables from floor to balcony 24/7 because these thieves are in here. All right. The thieves are in and they got to get out. It's not complicated. All right. So how many people do you know that live that every day? Not many. How many people do you know that eat dandelion every day? Most Christians I know are people that profess to be Christian, really worship the government. That's who you worship. you miss the whole premise of the character of Jesus Christ in the Bible. His whole character does not vow allegiance to anyone. His allegiance is already vowed. The question comes in a, the Christian perspective of, oh, his allegiance was vowed to his father. Okay, all right. It's still not a government. All right, it's still not the Hebrew nation, and it's not Rome. You can say you vowed your allegiance to the sun, shine, photosynthesis. It doesn't matter. Are you going to vow your allegiance to Rome? Or are you going to vow your allegiance to the Hebrew nation? Because either one of those two would have saved him from crucifixion. So, you guys are the quickest to vow your allegiance to a nation of crooks and thieves. And that fucking red, white, and blue giant cock up your ass they fucking beat you with has you fucking blinded sideways to no fucking end. And that's how I get to have fun, right? Yeah, your regurgitation. That's what you are. You're parroting regurgitation. That fucking big red, white, and blue cock, that American dream, that gangbang, it's so fucking far up your ass that all I hear coming out is fucking evil. All right? Yeah, evil. Oh, well, they're not all bad. Yeah, well, there's enough of them fucking putting people in jail. You don't fucking get to just go lock people up and destroy their fucking lives because, oh, we made a mistake. Look, the judicial system is either one you can support or it isn't. It isn't complicated. If it's fucked up, it's fucked. Oh, but it's still the best in the world. All right, fuck it. It's okay. I'm not saying that we're going to change the judicial system. I'm not saying we're going to change politics. I'm not saying one president is going to change things better than the next president. See, that's my whole point. As I get to fucking be me, you get to be you without having an argument. I quoted James Addiction. I've seen the waves break on the shore and come together with no harm done. And that's life. So the shit that I'm interested in from a true crime perspective is this case right here, Missy Beavers. Even though I disagree with the judicial system, I disagree with cops arresting people in Texas for marijuana. I have all of my life, and I'm taking shit from it all my life. I still stand that all of you are wrong. You're just all wrong, and it's okay. It's not a matter of whether I'm right or I'm wrong or I'm better or I'm worse. That's fucking neither here nor there. I'm just pointing out the fact arresting people for marijuana is wrong. Has been since they started doing it. I believe that everyone that's ever been arrested for marijuana should have restitution. All right? So that means you have to sell off your estate because you got rich arresting people for marijuana and imprisoning them. Tough fucking shit. People have had their fucking lives destroyed over marijuana in the state of Texas. And you people are completely missing the point. You're going to be so happy when they legalize marijuana, right? But what you're going to get is the Marlboro version and the Pfeiffer version of marijuana. Just look at your convenience store now. Yeah, look at your convenience store. There we go. Moving that picture. Look at your convenience store now. That K shit, that not real weed. What is it? It's called synthetic. That's what it is. Just like all the synthetic drugs that you have, all the synthetic drugs that you've had, that's all you're going to get. Fucking synthetic weed. And it's okay. Because again, I don't think you can change it, but you can at least fucking talk about it. And you don't have to hate a motherfucker because they have enough common sense to go, hey, this is wrong. And I tell you something else that's wrong in the state of Texas. State of Texas has been sued and found guilty for overcharging people with traffic ticket violations to such a degree that they have literally made people that are poor even less poor. So don't take my word for it. Do the research for yourself. State of Texas has been using issuing of traffic tickets and everything associated with that to generate income for a long time. It's just a conversation. That's all. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to think I'm better than you. You can think I'm less than you or that I'm worse than you. Just be cool. That's all. Just be cool so we can have a good time. So that's what it's about. If anybody's interested in continuing on Monday and Tuesday nights or anytime, I'm open to it. I don't expect it because I really need support to do it. And of course, the show sucks because I'm right now doing it on my phone, but I bet my audio sounds good because I don't have a bunch of people on my screen. What happens is when I bring people on the screen, there's so much happening on my phone screen that it creates static in my voice. So that's another thing, is another good reason to not do this show for the next week or so is I've got to fucking fix my audio. You know, I just have to. It's not an option. I have to fix this audio to do the show with a panel the way that I would like to do it. But this is what I'd like to do, is focus on some of these Texas-specific cases and active ones like Matthew Hoy Edgar. As much as I disagree with the judicial system, I just like to see that fucker found. If nothing else, for his mother. I hope that his mother has listened to me talk about it, but I don't have any idea. I would like to get her on the show, honestly. I'd like to track that fucker down. Really, I know people in East Texas. I might could track that motherfucker down, but I don't have time. But I think we could talk about it. And again, it's the same thing, man. You know, I'm not saying we can solve the Missy Beavers case. I never said we could solve the Dylan Rounds case. I don't think we can solve the Matthew Hoy Edgar case, but we can talk about it. And if we talk about it in support of one another for 2 hours, that's our show for 2 hours. I'm not talking for 8 hours. I'm talking for 2 hours about one case or two cases or three. Doesn't matter. Talk about one case and talk about music. Talk about one case and talk about Jim Terry. Talk about Salty Pancakes. But that's kind of the idea. That's what's happening here. Is this is StreamYard. And the idea is that you kind of need a show with content for StreamYard to work. And I'm very good at that. That's why I want to focus on making music. Doing my music show because I'm very good at reaching out. I've got some excellent interviews lined up. The problem with that is that, you know, just I've been doing the Outlaw Video TV for a long time. People have never really cared that much about it because there's a bunch of people doing music stuff. And, yeah, there's a lot of different reasons. It's real simple. But I still want to try my best. And if doing true crime is something I can do and have fun, and it helps the channel overall, bring exposure to the music. And then finally, with these true crime brides, I'm only expecting to interview them once. Hopefully they'll come on a couple of times. But they're into heavy metal music. I went to their Facebook page and they were sharing pictures. They're from the Dallas area. So it was really encouraging to come across. I've seen the True Crime Brides. This is a podcast. They're not a StreamYard, not yet anyway. Not that I saw. So I never really listened to it because it is a podcast, and there are other people that have had panel shows or just someone on screen talking about the Missy Beavers case. And then, like I said, Nancy Grace has an excellent video covering it. And that's where she got into Stingray 2 technology. So I'm pointing that out tonight because I need anyone like Gisela K. I mentioned it to her in email. I mentioned it on many of her videos, and she fucking ignores it. And Jim Terry acted like he was surprised by it. It's cool. It's all right. Nothing matters. I'm just saying, hey guys, Stingray 2 technology is real. They used it in this case with Missy Beavers. They've used it in multiple cases. Don't take my advice for it. Go do your own research. It's real. And not only that, Stingray 2 technology is old technology. They have that shit, these cell tower interceptors, they have them on drones, man. Real simple. Where do you think that technology is going? All right. How fast do you think it went there? All right. So I'm not, being, grand and out of scope. I'm just being straightforward that I just want to talk about true crime from the way that I talk about true crime. And if that doesn't work out, it's okay. Everything will be fine. I'll keep doing my music show, try my best to build that up, and, try my best to record some more music myself and get my music properly released. But yeah, for sure, when I started doing the Jim Terry, related shows here on Outlaw Video TV, I absolutely was not expecting to build my show up. I was not expecting to monetize or get the view hours. I didn't even know. Honestly, I didn't even know. It was after that I looked over at YouTube Studio and saw, okay, I just need some more view hours. So sure enough, we're there. So I want to thank everyone for that. And again, it wasn't my goal. It's cherry on top. My goal was to have the music heard, Gina, not to reach the viewer hours. Somewhere along the way, that became someone else's idea. But either way, I'm very glad that it's happened. And I hope that as a result, the music that I have on my channel will get more exposure. And the music show that I do will get more exposure. And hopefully I can do something to keep a true crime thing going. Again, on this true crime shit, it's real simple. Man, I don't want to, it takes a lot of time. Since I'm Jim Terry related, I have to watch all the shows that Jim Terry's on so that I know what the fuck's been going on most recently and can bring that, to the presentation here. So it takes a lot of fucking time just to do 2 shows. And, I'm not wanting to do that. I don't have that much time. I'd really like to just do 1 show a week, and might not even do that. Might not do any shows at all. This might be the last time I get on here and talk about this, and it might go away. This video might go away. I don't see any real reason to keep it on. Just like I don't see any real reason to do another show the way we were doing it, with me talking to someone who's not interested in true crime about true crime related fun. I don't really see a reason to leave this video up. I'm just going to leave it up for 24 hours so that anybody who wants to watch it is able to watch it, and then I'm going to take it down. But anyway, Jim Terry, Salty, Gina, everybody, thank you very much for, first and foremost, helping me get my music heard. But also, hopefully, we made an impact in the Dylan Rounds case. Hopefully, we entertained some people and had a little bit of fun. And then finally, thank you very much for helping me get to monetization here. Again, I don't expect to make money off of the monetization, but if that helps me get better placement through the algorithms and stuff, that's very important. And I ain't gonna lie, I'll take your money. My Venmo account is on the video. It's on all my videos. So, hey, Venmo all the money over that you want. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be happy to answer. Just kidding, because I'm not even looking at the comments, and I'm not about to. What I am going to do, though, is tell you thank you very much for taking the time to spend with me here today. And I hope that your evening is better than you had expected.
Here comes our criminal now. What do you have to say for yourself?
Dropping money on the floor. Like them bitches and them hoes.
Bitches and them hoes. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor.
Listen to the words.
Like them bitches and them hoes. The pain we know for sure. I don't need it anymore. Nickels and them dimes used to be the penny. No butter too heavy. Put your heart into it. Nickels and them dimes, they used to be the penny. No butter too heavy for both of us to carry. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. Like them bitches in them hoes.
It's a damn crime, not low down shame, to claim the fame and not scratch grime. I'm down for mine, not see the truth, not much left, support you. This real time, not making fun up on the gun, lunchtime. Grip, grubs, like those lines, the overtime, and then voice dub.
Dropping money on the floor. I don't need it anymore. Dropping money on the floor. Money on the floor. Like them bitches in them hoes. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. Bitches get rowdy, cause we got this shit. Taking this town with a little twist. Ain't never been like this. Boys are dropping it. Money on the floor. Shit, it's getting heavy. Used to be the penny. No, you never get it. Where's the hard candy, girl? The kind that you suck on. Show me down your aisle. How many licks does it take to get to the middle? How many licks does it take? How many licks does it take to get to the middle? Oh, how many licks does it take? Yummy cherry pie. Sweet child, you could be mine. Cream and cherry on top. Running down my face, don't you say. Running down my face. Running down my face, don't you say. Running down my face. Get your hard candy, hold it in your mouth, suck on it real hard. Hear me scream and shout, my heart. Hear me scream and shout. Hear me scream and shout, my heart. Hear me scream and shout. Well,